welcome to Blockchain Gaming World with me, John Jordan. So in this video, I'm going to have a quick look at what's going on in Undra. So Undra is a blockchain game in development in the UK studio called Studio Decent, and it is sort of very sort of narrative-based game. So it's in the very early stages of the game. They did an NFT drop at the end of 2021. I bought some assets there. It's obviously, as you can see, very sort of stylized. It is a sort of, I guess, one of those games where you're not running around, obviously, sort of shooting things. You're not sort of doing things in the game in a very sort of gamey type way. It's not a sort of Twitch game. More thoughtful, more about sort of narrative and sort of atmosphere. And it's sort of building out slowly, like a lot of games are. And I kind of thought it's interesting the narrative that they're doing. So it's sort of like a sort of, I guess, a sort of steampunk sort of thing back in time in a sort of fantasy world, and it's called Undra because you're sort of basically digging around in some mysterious planet. Okay, so I'm not going to go too much into the game. What's been going on in the game content? What's been going on is there's been some governance. So we've sort of seen this in the past, and maybe I'm a bit of a sucker for these things. Games where if you have NFTs, you can go and sort of it's very simple. You can go and read a story and vote. So I guess I've done some videos about Eden Horde, which is a game from Merit Circle. Again, sort of very simple. You had if you had a one of these, you could read through the game obviously without the NFTs, but if you had the NFT, you could sort of generate further NFTs off that, and then as you sort of played the game, you could swap those NFTs for other NFTs, and it was a very sort of lightweight sort of experience, but I think compelling as well, in a good way, at least for a certain amount of the audience to sort of build interest. So we've got governance here. Let's go and see what's going on with governance. So so you can see here with Undra, they're on so we're on the 4th chapter now. So each one of these are you can look back at previous chapters. So prologue, there's some stuff going on here. There's it's sort of some pioneers are coming into town of Undra and some stuff going on. There's maybe some horrors, dauntlesses that I think the mining company has some sickness going on here. And we are now on chapter 4. So let's read on. Not going to go through this in a lot of detail. We can see here that there is a timer on these things. So chapters happened. Obviously, the chapters still available if you want to read them, but if you want to actually sort of vote, again, very simple. Just go to the bottom here. There are 2 things to do, and obviously you need to have the NFTs. You need to be logged in with your wallet. And we can see here, because I voted in chapter 3, I've got some of this vote power called script. So the more NFTs you have, and the more you sort of vote with them, I think the sort of more voting power you have. So let's quickly see what's going on here. Okay. This is what happened sort of last time. I think there was some fuss going on about something, and we had to vote on that. And this is the aftermath. What's going on in the lab? Spiders and voltograph. So there's lots of this idea. There's sort of this horror sort of thing is under the ground. There's lots of weird sort of animals. No one's quite sure what's there. Right. Okay. So we have a special voltograph. Doesn't take the standard issue fuses. So we have some crystals that are an antenna. So we've managed to get into Wyatt's office. He's sort of the baddie at the moment. Right. Single channel spider emblem on the side. Interesting. So some locks like this. Okay. Serious technical know-how. Okay. Another frequency transmitting offshore. Okay. The flotilla. Right. So we could reverse engineer it, monitor the signals that the flotilla are broadcasting. That'd be interesting. Or we could listen in. Okay, so we could just spy on them, give them some clues, or eventually this thing must be genius. Okay, so this is not sort of rocket science. This is not a massively deep sort of branching narrative. We can either basically do the passive thing or do a active thing, and obviously everyone always chooses to do the active thing. I think pretty much. I like this bit here. If you've got a better idea, you can write it in there, and you get some rewards. So you get some script if you have come up with a good idea. I can't come up with a good idea, so let's just cast that one. So we can see here I'm going to cast my vote, and there we go. And so now we will see results published in 6 days. So again, I'm not making a massive claim that these things are the future of gaming. the fact is you are doing it. You do have to sort of prove you are a part of the community. You have bought these NFTs, and you're sort of committed to it. And I think it's just very sort of lightweight breadcrumbing to get people into this and sort of reading a story and maybe finding a bit about the characters. And yeah, it's not. This is much more evolutionary sort of part of gaming rather than the revolution of blockchain gaming. But I think this sort of stuff, particularly for this sort of game like Undra, which is a different sort of game than we're making a MOBA. I don't think this approach necessarily works for that sort of game, but with a more thoughtful audience and maybe a bit more of a niche audience, I think this sort of stuff over time is good. You can't keep it going for too long. I think people's sort of attention wanders. So certainly Eden Horde did 8 chapters over a couple of months. I think that was enough. So we'll see how it goes. But anyway, once you start doing it, I think it's pretty cool. So did a video about it. Okay, that was it. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel. See you again soon.